You are born into one of the richest dynasties in human history. Before you can walk, private jets are waiting for your family. Before you can read, your surname is recognized in countries you've never visited. Before you can understand money, you are surrounded by more wealth than entire nations. From the outside, your life looks perfect, and for a while you believe it is. But by the time you reach adulthood, you discover something strange, the one thing you want most but cannot have it. And despite all your family's wealth, influence, and power, it may be the one thing you'll never truly possess. Level 1. The perfect childhood. Your earliest memories feel almost unreal. There are no crowded airports, no long lines, no concerns about money, no uncertainty about the future. Private tutors teach you multiple languages, historians explain world events, experts teach diplomacy, politics, culture, and tradition. Security personnel accompany your family everywhere. Entire teams work behind the scenes to make life effortless. Birthdays are extravagant, vacations are extraordinary. Opportunities appear before you even know they exist. You never question any of it. Why would you? This is normal, this is life. And as a child, you genuinely believe you might be one of the luckiest people on earth. Then, when you're 13 years old, something happens. A friend from school invites you to spend the weekend at their house. You're excited. You immediately say yes. The next morning, you're informed that the visit has been canceled. No explanation, no discussion, just canceled. At the time, it seems insignificant, a minor disappointment. Years later, you realize it was the first warning, the first sign that your life belonged to more than just you. Level 2. The Golden World. As you grow older, the scale of your privilege becomes impossible to ignore. Hotels reserve entire floors for your family. Luxury stores close their doors to regular customers so you can shop privately. Convoys move through city streets. International events welcome you as an honored guest. University admissions become easier. Business leaders become accessible. Powerful people remember your name. The world opens itself before you. Yet something strange begins to happen. You start noticing people outside your world. Students, artists, entrepreneurs, travelers, ordinary people. And they seem to possess something you don't. At first you can't identify it. Then you realize. Choice. They choose where they live, who they date, what careers they pursue, what mistakes they make. You assumed wealth created freedom. Instead, you're beginning to discover that wealth often comes with instructions. Every appearance is planned, every schedule is reviewed, every action carries consequences. The world sees privilege. You begin noticing restrictions. Level 3, the unwritten rules. Nobody explains the rules directly. Nobody needs to. You learn them the way people learn gravity. By observing consequences. At 16, a distant relative makes a decision the family dislikes. Nothing illegal, nothing scandalous, just a choice that breaks tradition. Almost immediately, invitations begin disappearing. Influence fades. Important meetings stop including them. Nobody publicly criticizes the decision. Nobody publicly discusses it, but everyone notices, and everyone understands. The lesson spreads faster than words ever could. Stay inside the lines. For the first time, you realize your family isn't merely a family. It's an institution. And institutions survive by protecting themselves, even from their own members. Level 4. The outside world. As your travels expand, so does your perspective. You spend time around people who live entirely different lives. One friend starts a business with no guarantee of success. Another changes careers 3 times. Someone else leaves home and moves across the world. The decisions seem reckless at first. Then they begin looking beautiful because they belong to them. No advisors, no committees, no family expectations, no centuries of tradition watching from behind. For the first time, you experience something unexpected. Envy. Not envy of money, not envy of status, envy of freedom. The freedom to fail, the freedom to disappear, the freedom to reinvent yourself. Most people never appreciate these things because they've always had them. You appreciate them because you've never truly experienced them. Level 5. The weight of expectation. Adulthood changes everything. The title is no longer symbolic. Now it carries responsibility. You represent your family, your history, your reputation, your legacy. A careless statement becomes international news. A mistake becomes a headline. A controversy becomes everyone's problem. The pressure is relentless. Every interview matters. Every appearance matters. Every relationship matters. At first you try to manage it. Then you realize something uncomfortable. The pressure never ends because unlike wealth, responsibility cannot be delegated. You carry it personally, every day, every year for the rest of your life. Level 6, the search for purpose. Then another problem emerges, one almost nobody talks about. What do you strive for when you've already inherited everything? Most people spend decades chasing wealth. You were born surrounded by it. Most people dream of influence. You inherited influence before adulthood. Most people pursue status. Status arrived with your surname. So what remains? Purpose, meaning, identity. Questions money cannot answer. You begin launching projects. supporting causes, creating foundations, building initiatives, not because you need more success, because you need something that belongs to you. For the first time, failure becomes possible, and strangely enough, that feels exciting. Level 7, the shadow of doubt. The harder you work, the more another question follows you. Did you earn this, or was it handed to you? People question your achievements, your successes, your accomplishments. Maybe they're impressed. Maybe they're skeptical. Sometimes they're both. You launch a project. Critics call it privilege. You achieve success. Critics credit your family. You fail. Critics say they expected it. Eventually, you realize the challenge isn't becoming successful. The challenge is becoming believable, proving you exist independently of the system that created you. And that battle can last a lifetime. Level 8. The loneliness of power. As your influence grows, relationships become more complicated. People admire you, people praise you, people seek your attention. But another question quietly appears: who actually likes you? And who likes your position? Who would remain if the title disappeared tomorrow? Who would stay if the influence vanished? The uncertainty follows you everywhere. Friendships, partnerships, relationships, conversations. The more powerful you become, the harder certainty becomes. And certainty is what trust requires. Power attracts people, but it doesn't guarantee connection. Sometimes it makes genuine connection harder. Level 9, the trap. This is when the fantasy finally reveals itself. You were born into wealth, but wealth came attached to expectations. You were born into influence, but influence came attached to obligations. You were born into luxury, but luxury came attached to surveillance. You were born into power, but power came attached to responsibility. The dynasty gave you everything, and in doing so, quietly claimed ownership over much of your future. Not through force, not through prison walls, not through chains, through expectations, through reputation, through loyalty, through duty. The cage was invisible, which is precisely why it was so effective. Level 10, the realization. Years later, standing above a world shaped by generations of wealth and influence, you finally understand something most people never do. Money solves many problems. It creates comfort, security, opportunity, influence. But some things exist beyond wealth. Purpose cannot be inherited, identity cannot be purchased, trust cannot be guaranteed, and freedom cannot always be transferred through bloodlines. Then the final realization arrives. The rarest luxury was never the palaces, never the private jets, never the influence, never the money. It was choice, the ability to decide your own future, to choose your own direction, to become someone entirely on your own terms. Most people spend their lives dreaming of entering your world. And for years, you spent much of your life searching for something many of them already possessed. The freedom to decide who you become,